see from this Kings team? What do you see from DeAaron Fox, the guy you came up with?
Well, it's his team. They're going out. He goes, and he's leading them well. I know he came out pretty much last year. I knew he had that in him since high school. He's a great player. I love watching him play.
Lonzo Ball, ZO2, the Chino Hills prodigy, had very, very high praise for guard DeAaron Fox. We all know he has been igniting things out there in Sacramento. That 1-2 punch with him and Sabonis is something scary. We got a lot to break down involving this Kings team. A lot of people try to kind of, especially when Lonzo was, just coming into the league, they made it seem like these two had some sort of beef. It was some issues involved, and that's just, how they like to play it. But these two have a really good relationship. Obviously, it's competitive. We can't surmise that. But at the end of the day, it's no bad blood how the media try to make it seem. Lonzo Ball had very high praise for Fox. He said that he knew that he had this level of stardom in him ever since high school. He called him a great player, and he said that he loves watching DeAaron Fox play. Listen, if you've been living under a rock, man, DeAaron Fox has emerged into stardom. What he's done for the Kings and how much must be paid, because this season he's averaging 27 points per game, shooting 47% from the field, 38% from three, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. I want to see those assist numbers go up as well. And then, like I said, you got a steal and then close to a half a block a game coming from Fox. You got to give him nothing but credit. DeAaron Fox is leading his team. The Kings are 5th right now in the out west. What I will say is, to Lonzo's credit, obviously as a Lonzo fan, I know what was going on. It's almost similar to what's happening with his little brother, LaMelo, with the whole Tyrese, Anthony Edwards. It's like we can't like any of them. We got to love LaMelo and seem like we got to dislike the rest. But with Lonzo, I love what he's did here because he's removing all of that. Now, we know these two have had that back and forths where, like I said, they both got the better of each other. We never really got a chance to really see it the way we wanted to. Obviously, Lonzo's been out. Fox and his team has went up. But I want to let everybody know how, because you might be listening to this thinking, oh, man, Fox done went off in the playoffs already. He did this, and this. I want to remind people that before Lonzo went out, his team was number 1 out east. So just like the Kings did last year, they surprised everybody. They went up in ours. But Lonzo and his team would have did the same thing if the injuries didn't come into play. And he would have did it a year sooner. So I just want to point all that out to the people, But listen, we just got to keep it 100. What's going on in Sacramento is truly special. The Kings, I remember in my day, the Kings was always a respectable squad. But, they haven't always been respectable as of late. Even Fox has experienced some of the dark times. It wasn't until Mike Brown got in there to when they really was knocking on that door. They had to make some tough decisions. We just brought up Tyrese's name. Heck, his name, Tyrese, was on that bench, not too long ago. They had to remove him and they went with Fox. So it worked out, because it seemed like they could have never went wrong with either or. What if they would have kept Tyrese? Would that have been a bad move? So they was in a win-win situation, and they stuck with the guy who has the experience, and DeAaron Fox looked like he won it. Listen, man, the Kings, to me personally, I don't know if they can beat the upper echelon teams, but I know that they are a threat out west to a lot of those teams down bottom. I'm just going to keep it all the way 100 with you. I don't know if they're going to be able to beat a Denver, the Clippers, Phoenix. I don't know, but I like them against just about everybody else. Obviously, as Lonzo fans, Bulls fans, we want to see him back on the floor. I can't echo this enough, how disgusting this whole situation has been. Obviously Lonzo's injury and health is takes center stage, but the fact that we don't have Lonzo on the floor truly makes me sick, because I just felt like obviously injuries got in the way, but he got cheated. Lonzo has been out, for an extended period of time, and what has happened in this time Lonzo has been gone. Some people would say his arch nemesis in DeAaron Fox. I remember they was going back and forth, and it wasn't, a lot of people may have said, oh yeah, Fox this, Fox that, but it wasn't too definitive. They haven't done anything yet. And Lonzo will go up to Sacramento and get the better of this guy. They would face off each other. Lonzo brought his game to the next level. So it had a lot of people in the head scratching moment. Obviously, you got Stephen A. Smith and his narratives when he was running with Magic, this, that, and the third. But even in New Orleans, it wasn't clear cut. It wasn't like, now you're going to say that Fox, people are critics, or whoever going to say that Fox is just head and shoulders better than Lonzo because Lonzo hasn't been playing and all you've seen is Fox and the Kings do that thing. But what I will say about Lonzo is he didn't get a chance to play with his team like Fox has. Lonzo obviously was moved out of Los Angeles. What I want to remind people is, let's not act like DeAaron Fox wasn't all in trade rumors. Obviously he ain't going nowhere now. But listen, before even Halliburton, you heard his name. I remember one time I heard Fox's name linked to the Sixers. You understand? So it was a point in time where DeAaron Fox was on his way out of Sacramento, where it was a serious conversations. They took calls. You understand? There were trade proposals that was on the table for DeAaron Fox. You understand? But they didn't make that move. Lonzo was in a tough situation. You out in Los Angeles. Some of these other players, they was able to go to cities where, they was able to be tucked away. Come on. The Lakers, they didn't win now. Once Lonzo walked past the stage to shake Adam Silver's hand, they was thinking championships. They was just thinking just crazy. Fox was able to come into Sacramento, no high hopes, just develop and do your thing. And he pretty much flew under the radar up there in California. Lonzo Ball got swept up in that trade. I told people this. If let's say LeBron came to LA, I don't care if they had Tatum there. I don't care if they had Fox. If Anthony Davis was on the table, they would have unloaded one of those players, man, to go get AD, because it would have required that to get AD. You understand? So I just want to let everybody know that, because people are going to say this, that, and the third. Fox would have been on his way to New Orleans just as fast as they did Lonzo. So I want to point that out. But that's neither here nor there. Fox is a great player. He's growing into that right. I hated how he got snubbed for the All-Star. I think that was distasteful. Pause. I think they need to make sure that they fix that with all of the injuries and stuff going on with Julius. I think it's a situation. Obviously, we know what's going on with Embiid. There's going to be openings. And, of course, we got a little bit more time before All-Star break. Something else could happen. So, listen, we very well could see Fox again, and it's going to be a sight to see. Shout out Lonzo Ball, ZO2, the Chino Hills prodigy. I give him nothing but respect for praising what people would say his arch nemesis in DeAaron Fox. I'm going to leave it at that. Shout out to the Kings, too, man. Mike Brown got them boys rolling. Shout out Malik Monk, Sabonis and company. You already know. It's Flight Sports TV.